Hello, and welcome to another video. In this one, I get to show you that I have finally caught the rarest shiny Pokemon that exists, the shiny authentic Sinistea. If you're not familiar with the hunt, Sinistea can be encountered in one location, well actually two locations now, and there is an 11% chance of encountering a Sinistea, and 1% of that 11%, so 1% overall, is an authentic shiny Sinistea. And so with your shiny rate being about 1 in 1300-ish, that puts the rate at a shiny Sinistea at about 1 in 130,000. But I finally did it, and it took capturing 61 shinies to get it. The authentic one was the 61st one. And I'm going to show you the video for how I did that, as well as the little device that I used to do that, that I put together myself. So let's jump into it. Okay, so first off, we're going to talk about the device. It is powered by a Pro Micro microcontroller. This is pretty popular in Arduinos, or sorry, in keyboards, but I just used it as kind of like an Arduino device. Not really running a custom mechanical keyboard here, but this USB port plugs into the Switch itself, and the Pro Micro pretends to be the Pokken Tournament controller, which is a controller for the Wii U. But the Nintendo Switch just kind of assumes it's a Pro controller, and you can use any of the buttons that are on the Pro controller. This microcontroller is hooked up to a USB to serial device. That's what these white wires are doing here, as well as these yellow ones here. These greens are just for ground. I also have a buzzer hooked up. This was useful so when I encountered a shiny Pokemon, I could basically set off a siren and notice anywhere in my house that I caught a shiny Pokemon and run into my room and see if it was finally the one that I was looking for. And I have a reset button that made it easier to program. But now let's show the video here and how I went about doing this. So this is video feed from my capture card. Actually, we missed a little bit here. I actually fed this video feed into the program so it could use a little bit of computer vision to notice what was going on in the game. And this is right at the beginning of the loop. So right after we had pressed W or up and A to run, the first thing that it does is it rams itself into the far right-hand side of the screen. This kind of orients the character in the top right-hand portion. I tried a whole bunch of stuff to orient the character, and this was the most consistent manner, and even this wasn't super consistent. I probably had to manually adjust the game once every 6 or so hours to fix a few broken loops. But this was good enough to go with. But yeah, it orients itself up into the top right-hand corner, and then it tries to run back and forth until it encounters a Pokemon. So you'll see here, we orient it up. Oops, there's a little video glitch there. And then it ran back and forth. That's what this crisscross part is. And the next thing that the program does is it waits for this little dialog to show up. So you can see this, it looks for these gray pixels over here. And you'll see that it says that the dialog started. Then it waits for those gray pixels to disappear, so it knows when the dialog has ended, which is here. So you can see it notices the dialog ended. And then the dialog will actually come back when your Pokemon is sent out. And based on the delay between those two dialogues, the program can identify whether there's a shiny Pokemon or not. So in this case, it was not shiny, so there was no shiny animation between those two dialogues, so it knew it wasn't shiny. Let me just play through one whole loop so you can kind of see that whole thing going all at once without me pausing and talking over it the whole time. So here you'll see orient up to the top left, walk back and forth, notice this dialogue. It's not shiny, so the dialogue delay is very short, and it continues the cycle after that. And we'll do one more. Actually, we'll skip over the next one. So the next one's a non-shiny Morgrem. And then after this one should be our shiny Sinistea. So we do the cycle again, run up to the corner, back and forth, and ta-da! Shiny Sinistea! And it's a square shiny, which I think is the common one, but I don't really care. I'm not gonna try and get a star shiny Sinistea. That would be an absurd amount of work. I guess that would be the truly rarest shiny. But at this point, the alarm started going off, and I ran from the other side of my house to come attend to this. And pretty soon in here, I will cancel out of the program and then start trying to catch it. Yeah, there we go. So you can see I canceled out of the program. I decided to do the rest of it just with code instead of, grabbing my controller and going through that way. So So we get a critical capture here, but we fail it, which, you know, wouldn't be a shiny. It wouldn't be an easy shiny capture if we could have just succeeded that. But anyway, on the second ball, I caught it, so that's good enough. But yeah, caught it in a dust ball. The way I was determining whether it was shiny or not is based on the Pokedex. So the quickest way to verify is to open up the Pokedex entry and flip through it, because there are 2 separate entries for authentic and not, and then for each entry you can have a shiny or not shiny sprite. So when I check the Pokedex in a sec, you'll see that I have 4 entries for, 2 shiny ones and then 2 not shiny ones. Of course, they're interleaved. But before that, I actually made a mistake here. This was the script I was using to just, like, whenever I encountered a shiny and it wasn't the sinistea, I would just rerun this and it would, jump right back into the program, so I didn't have to do a bunch of manual button presses there and reset the device. So I accidentally encountered another Swirlix here, so bonus extra footage for you. But we make sure to run there. Then we open up our Pokedex, and you can see here that we are on the sinistea entry to make this super speedy. And we press right a few times. I forget which one is the authentic one, but you'll notice that there are 4 entries here, which confirms that I got the shiny authentic sinistea. I think I print out yes at the end of there. Yeah, there we go. But anyway, I finally got it. Oh man, this has been a long time coming. But anyway, hopefully you enjoyed, and thank you for watching. Bye.